Good morning, all. I need a lot of coffee this morning, especially leaded. This is Fatty MZ. Excuse me. 9:07 a.m. on Friday, I believe 28th of August. Summer is slowly coming to an end. Got I think 3 more weeks to go of 2020. It's a Friday. It's a 4th week of the month, so we have a lot of econ data. Let's see, that's a good trade. Personal income came in. Yeah, that's what it did. We're going over our econ data. We're going to go econ data. We're going to go PMT, market timing. We're going to do some futures. I'm going to look at some DMZ. Let's not forget that. Okay, here is what we had that came in this morning. This is for July. Personal income actually was slightly better than consensus, but within the range. PC price index came in okay, a little bit on the lower side. The core was also lower. And year to date is in line. So that's that. Let's go back. Let's see what else we have today. I think this is going to be on it. Yeah, the 2 good ones are after we open the market. Actually, I'm saying maybe but okay. The retail inventories are higher. That's not good. Retail inventories are a little bit higher. Okay. We expected -2. That's at 1.2. I don't know what wholesale. PMT has not. Yeah. The 2 we need to watch on is Chicago PMI, which comes in at 9:45 a.m. is all times of Eastern. So that's what we're looking for. That's the range, 51.8. A little bit slightly lower than last month. We'll see how it comes out. But that will impact the trade. And then I think the one that I'm looking for is consumer sentiment. Most retailers look at that. And 72.8 is a consensus in line with last month. The range is pretty tight. We'll see what it does. I think maybe a little bit optimistic than I think, but we'll see. Let's go to PMT real quickly. Timer charts. Again, softer move up, but still up, was positive. Advanced incline improved a tad. That's suggestive that we may be able to, we may stay up here. I mean, the shorts are going to be in trouble further. That's the case. And we waited yesterday to enter it, but we rallied intraday. So we have to cut, probably official cut page here on this one. So glad they didn't put a trade on the option side. Yeah. Or even recommended trade on the cash side. I didn't. I'm losing a little money with the trades with the timer digest, but I did not. Where are you guys losing money? I have a lot of cushion there. So I have a little bit, I can play around a little bit. Okay, inside, okay, that's outside bar. See, that's outside bar. Let's zoom in. This is Russell and transportation. Russell was the outside bar, barely, still fairly flat. We edged up a tad in trans. Okay, that's actually constructive and not being contradicting or diverging from the SPX. And you can see it much better in the D-trender. We're still heading up here, so that's good. Oh, this D-trender pulled back. I see on NDX. Keep an eye. All these nuances, you get at least take a look at it once a day. These are easy to construct. You guys can do this yourself on your trade station or any platform. You take the price minus the 200 day, which is this one, and minus 50, which is this one. So you want to see the 2. And so that's how you get that. Okay, we head up back up on SP1. We reacquired 0.6. Let's see how long that lasts, how long that goes forward. And its smaller or younger brethren also edged up a tad to about -2. Still is negative. Okay. Buy and buy. These are mechanical systems. We do not trade just by these. If that was it, we give you one chart. Somebody, remember, early on had complained like, well, your machine is on the buy, why are you short? I said, listen, 747 has a lot of systems too, but he's still the captain. No one's going to fly without a cockpit and a captain and a first officer. So, okay, we pulled back a tad on the SQ. I don't. That probably tells me there was nothing new that came in. Yeah, this may be adjustment, or remember, this is not published every day. When you see these lines, that means that the day between was skipped. Sometimes it's not solvable. Okay, just like MIV, that you have to solve. You know, because you do a numerical approximation. What should be, you feed a number into the actual model, you get a result. If that doesn't match the current price, you take that differential and adjust the MIV. Shoot another number in, you get the third one by using Newton-Raphson method. I think by 3 tries you're gonna hit it. It's actually the tangent of the curve when it hits the zero line. We did that when we were doing MIVs for all the names out there, which was an interesting way of looking at stuff. We took MIVs for all the names, like 500 names, and then we filled it into sigma channels. So we know what the MIV was excessive. There's an article from me on Steve Smears, who's the editor for options on Barron's, that he was out of town. We predicted which way Google will go in the next earnings, like 3 weeks forward. Guess what? The first print was our target. The first print after the earnings, the first print was our target. That's how we acquired it. We got MIVs, solved it, and then looked for sigma levels. The sigma levels projected which way it's going to go and what the level would be. So it was going down. We took a level there. I'm sorry, it was a short. So it was going to go up. Yes, it was going to go up. So we could look at the level and we said, should be between this price and that price, the price. Guess what? The first print was our target. So, yeah. It's just a big machine to manage. A lot, again. You know, always good ideas, but a little bit bigger than my budget. Hold on. TD, okay. This is time and data stuff, okay. We're steady on the spread, on the VIX spread. This is the one we look at. No signal here, in my opinion. Very crazy day yesterday. You saw what happened yesterday on this. And then we had 91.62, extremely overbought. But remember, we can be overbought for a long time. Okay. All right, that's a quick look there. What do we got here? Let's go here. Okay, we bounced off. There's a little W there. Okay, it's reacquiring the sentiment the same way, so we're not diverging like we have. We have seen these divergences also continue until they don't. You know, early on, they do, and then boom, and they don't, then boom, it just goes. For example, here you can see there was no divergence. We were rising, and so was the peaks. And then, of course, the rotation was, of course, what the rotation was. When they went to this level, there was a huge divergence, and that's all she wrote. And the way I look at it is the difference between these two lines. If these two lines are not touched, we have a way to go. Okay? Here is much noisier on the upside. Usually it's on the downside because the speed is so fast. Why? We're mainly long. As a nation, we're mainly long. So you have a lot of longs there. It's all running out for the same exit door. That's what happens. Think about it. Hi, Ken. How are you? Let me get you on the other side. Okay. And so the rising up from below is a little bit more messier and bumpier because of non-believers. They just say, hey, I think we're going to go back down again. Okay. I was one of them early on. Once it passes 50%, the chance of going back down is not that easy. Why? That event is gone. We can go back down again, but we need another event. But once you pass 50% retracement, that stuff is very low. How come? I don't know. Historically. These are empirical observations. Yeah. So, all right. Let's get quickly to our favorite, the OTFs. Murray. Murray, where are you? There we go. Here's Murray. Okay. And then we're going to talk about DMZ a little bit here. All right. Overnight. What did we do overnight? This is the, I got to call it differently, but I'm calling it MBU. Lack of a better name, I just put MB1, morning brief one. Good. Very steady, very quiet, within the range. If you looked at it, shorter term, this is 30 minutes. There was a lot of noise there. We're going to see that in a bit on the DMZ. But let me put a 15 in there, and you can see. There we go. You can see some noise there, especially on, especially on the NQ. This is the end of the day. That's the settlement. You could see. I remember seeing this part. Of course, I wasn't around to see that part. Right about here was last time I checked everything. Charts were posted late last night. I got back from Verizon late. That was a long discussion on Verizon. Get them to understand I'm not going to sit still. They owe me a new phone. There's no ifs and buts. Not here to argue. All right, this will improve a little bit. Chart-wise, we're going to clean it a little bit. But this is the overnight view quickly on standard charts. The purpose is just for you to get a feel for the range as, I thought I took these out. Okay. As depicted here, and I need to get this out. Hold on. Not into this. It wants to do this. Hold on. Nope. No. Yes, it's not looking. So, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So we had a 96 handle range overnight. Okay. We have to save that. All right. Yes, fractals, fairly steady around. Kettler bands. Is it Kettler? Am I saying it right? I forget. I gotta look it up. All right. We call it K bands. K bands and B bands. Okay. Very steady. After the confluence staying in that area, you can't count it for long. Usually this gets into really pretty good, strong overbought. In terms of intraday, so that it would be adjusted. It would, I would say, self-adjust itself. Why? We're all buyers. Our business is to predict when are we running out of buyers up here and when we're running out of sellers down here. And we're gonna go vibrate and go back and forth. Fear and greed. Fear, greed. So that's what we're here to measure, and that's what these tools do very efficiently. Let's go to NQ. NQ is a little bit more flat, in my opinion, here. So maybe because it took a little bit of money off yesterday, it has been underperforming. If you can see what he did on it, like NDX versus SPX. Pure and simple, not this fancy. You can see still that NQ yesterday underperformed compared to, NDX underperformed compared to SPX. All right. MBS, which is a median price. Median price since the legal open is around 68, and we've been a little bit okay, 68. Hold on. So let's make sure we draw this thing back in. Because I don't see it there. Studies. Hold on, Jack. It's a coffee, Jack. Okay, let me put MBS back on here. Starts this off. I think it was too high. There you go. Yeah, that makes it. That's your MBS. All right. So we're good there. Let's talk about DMZ we've been missing. Here's your DMZ. And I think one of the folks, I think maybe it was Avinash. No. Avinash was asking, does Ken have his own room? Ken is a paid member just like the rest of you guys are. He's just very articulate, very smart, and very benevolent. That he shares his thoughts with you, especially when I get too busy. But no, he's just like you, but he's in the same room you are, Avinash. Okay, so you've been experiencing, what he has to say. No more, no less. Sometimes he gets busy himself. You gotta give him time. Yeah. But he's very smart because he's been doing it for 3 years, along with all the years he's done it his own way. So he's been with us 3 years. So he comes in with very good knowledge base and work. and the way he does things. And then he added this tool because he's patient, he makes less mistakes. That means he's got better confidence, and that's important. Confidence builds the way you operate, builds the way your account, and so you have to stop. I sometimes overtrade. That's why I'm not in a good mood today. There's amount of the accounts yesterday I overtraded, and that's my mea culpa. And the problem was it was a new account. That's even worse. You do not lose money on a new account. Brand new, day one. Yeah, so that's a little bit got me, but that's okay. We got from time from here to eternity. I'll come back. It won't be immediately one day. I don't plan to do that. That's how you get into more trouble. But slowly I crawl back up. Anyhow, I think it was Armando. He talked about 3 sigma. Here's a 2 sigma. Here's a 3 sigma. Okay. You see the pattern we're in. It's a 5-minute. I don't go more than that because I use that for nuancing what I'm doing. In terms of, is it possibly in the tough areas? Should I be taking some profit? Should I be booking where I am? Or, hey, I'm dead wrong. I better get out of here. Otherwise, I'm going to have a mess like I had yesterday. Now, part of also problem I had, I think when I go back on because I debrief myself at night. I go through, when I get a chance. Well, I mean, I've taken a few hours off. I'm not coming in with positive or negative view of the day that happened. I'm neutral. Well, okay, come in neutral, take a look at the trade, go through the trade. There's a time and sales. You can look at your charts and say, okay, what went wrong here? Well, to me, remember I said one of the accounts balance is wrong? Okay, balance was wrong. Why? Not trade session, because of Fari. I traded hybrid. I traded NQ and MNQ. When you go to Dome reports your P&L for that asset. So I took a 2, and I had a huge run, but I didn't realize it was a huge run until I look at the total balance for that account on the trade manager. Okay, per Dome, per depth of the market, per what do you call it? The matrix. They call it the matrix. This is the matrix here. Okay, there's a P&L up there. Of course, not this one because this login is a simulator account. Because I don't trade it, I trade on the other one. The other day I had to, I had no other choice. But there's a P&L up there. Okay, if you, I think if you do this, settings, quote part, boom, you that. See that? It gives you what's going on. Okay, what your P&L and so forth. Of course, this is the .d. But anyhow, it hasn't opened yet. It reports your P&L according to the symbol you have in. So I had MNQ and NQ. And NQ, 2 of them, NQ and MNQ. They were both positive. When I looked at his total account, it was over the roof. I stopped that. I said, whoa. And he was doing backflips, I understand, yesterday. At least the wife was telling me that he was doing backflips. What did you do to him? I said, I have no idea. I didn't know anything. I'm here. He's in a different state. But he's having a good time. But the time it took to see what that was, I mean, that trader stopped. Market took a dive. And on the other account, I was on NQ. It slapped me around. Not good. So usually that's how accidents happen. If you go through, for example, airplane accidents, you read the FAA reports. It's a series of small mistakes, but in serial mode. One little mistake, boom, you lose the aircraft. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't lose the aircraft, I lost the wing. It wasn't good. So, or half the wing. It was not good. So I slowly come in, landed, and said, okay, I got to regroup, fix the wing, we'll come back again. And that's what happened yesterday. But anyhow, I do look at these, and this is the 3 sigma. I want to look at 2 sigma. Here's the DMZ. I kept the best for last. You could see how it signals, where it came from. It's a DCI, the dual CI we have. If you go to our proprietary indicators, there's an indicator called DCI. Actually, before we had CI diff, we had DCI. We had CI and DCI was a forced release. The third one was a CI diff. So we didn't even diss out. We had CI and CI diff, DCI, dual CI, not Director of Central Intelligence, just DCI, dual. Now, stay there dormant. You actually could manage your timing of the 2 components of 2 CIs in there. But it's very complicated, and you really got to be an aficionado and understand how the inside out works. It's for the more crazy types, like who are very good with math, like our dear friend Mario. Not Mario, Monroe. Monroe, the PhD from MIT, who has not showed up. Unbelievable. When I grow up, I want to be like Monroe. Yeah. So that we massaged it about a year and a half ago. We massaged it a little bit and turned it into what's called DCI. I'm saying DMZ. And it was right about time, or maybe more than that. It was when I know we released it about 18 months ago, I don't know, 15 months ago, something like that. I forgot to tell them. But this is the time Guampino had decided to show up in North Korea and visit the DMZ. The whole concept was, look at the color. It's red below, green above. Even though it's alternating, if it is a crisscross, but look at the difference. Here, the colors continue. Here, it doesn't. The top stays green, the bottom stays red. So the concept was long above, short below. So what's in between becomes DMZ. That is what. This is where you got to be very careful. Any breach, you have to make some decisions. If you're long and it breaches the screen, that means get out. Doesn't mean get short. It means get out. It tells you get short about here. Now, are you going to some flip flops? Of course. To better understand that, we plot the difference. And I'm here. Here I have to thank Ziriak, who came and said, Fari, don't plot it as a line. How about histogram? Because now you see in a granular way how that interaction is plotted. And you can see how it rotates. Green, 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 green. So we're coming back. Oh, two reds. Watch out, watch out. It is maybe about to lose its edge. And we get very close to a cross. Still hasn't crossed yet. And goes red again. Turns around, there's a cross. And you go. So what you want to do, you can see these changes. It's a histogram. It shows the difference between these two lines. And visually, you could see where you have to be long or short. Do we go in excessive way? Yes, we do, right there. Yes, we do. And we did. It exceeds it, and then sometimes goes to a failure. The failure itself is a signal. Remember that. You've got to look at it and say, it's like, no trade is a trade. No trade is a trade. Okay, you heard Christian say that, you heard Ken say that. No trade is a trade. That's an advice. Here's what it is. Goes above and fails. Okay, as it pulls back, you got to be on alert saying, okay, something is wrong on the upside. Even though I'm moving here to the green area, but really a good green is a positive green, not a red, not a negative green. That is good. Okay, so you got to interpret that and move forward. And we're pulling up here. That concludes today. Market is opening. Let's get back to that. And I will do more of this on Monday. Okay, guys? Good luck. Thank you.